Hey everybody, welcome back to Next Play Records. I'm Andy, and I have a kind of a catch-up new editions video to show some of my very newest that just came in over the last week, but then some that have kind of been backlogged and on my heavy rotations. I've been playing it, keeping it out of my filing it in my collection. So I just want to show it on a video. Maybe it'll produce some comments or some leads to similar albums from the Peanut Gallery. As you watch and comment on this video. So I appreciate the kind comments on my last couple of videos, and I know you're going to love some of this on my show. If you follow me on Instagram, you maybe saw some pictures and little comments of them, but I'm going to start with the Vinyl Me Please release from this month. Lee Morgan Quintet on Jazzland. This is take 12, cut from the analog tapes. It's beautiful. Sounds great. Clifford Jordan, surprisingly, is killer on this album and a great complimentary to Lee Morgan. This was recorded in 1964 or 62. Let me check that. Recorded in 1962 and has a good lineup. I mean, it has Lee Morgan, Clifford Jordan, Barry Harris on the piano, Bob Crenshaw on the bass, Louis Hayes on the drums. There's a good look. The Vinyl Me Please seal. I was so excited about this release that I signed up a month early, grabbed that Coltrane and Miles Davis album that I'd showed a couple videos back, as well as signed up for this one in September. And then I have one more. I did the 3-month, one more where I get to choose tomorrow. Those will be released and announced. But this comes with a nice little booklet that talks about the leading up his career, but also leading up to right before this album. He was a junkie. I mean, he was actively trying to get off of his drug addiction and couldn't do it, but was given the opportunity by Jazzland as he was kicked out of the Jazz Messengers just from missing practices and not performing well on the live shows and things like that. He lost that gig, but was signed here, rejuvenated his career, came back right after this to release Sidewinder. So he made some adjustments and continued to perform well, even though he did battle those drugs for most of his career. But this record's awesome. There's some really catchy songs on here. Raggedy Ann, the song it starts off with. Leisure Time is great, and Take 12, the title track. I love all three of those. Excuse me. About to sneeze on you. But anyway, I'm not going to cut that out. I held it back. Okay. But it comes with that little book. You got some hype stickers in here. Let me read the hype sticker real quick. Lee Morgan, Lacquer's cut from the original analog tapes by Ryan Smith at Sterling Sound, which Vinyl Me Please uses a ton. Pressed on 180-gram black audiophile vinyl at RTI. Exclusive listening notes. The booklet by Ashwanta Jackson, who was a jazz columnist and lover. So let's put that right here so it doesn't get bent up. So again, very excited. Probably my most exciting new release into my collection, and that is that Lee Morgan Jazzland. It's going to be hard to come by if you didn't sign up for Vinyl Me Please. I'm sure the value on this is going to shoot up, probably kind of like the Kenny Dorham, Quiet Kenny did for Record Store Day. I mean, it's still I got it at Record Store Day for $23. It's 80 something median on Discogs. I feel like that one will be the same or more. The next release I'd like to show is the newest Tone Poet that I've gotten. And this is Wayne Shorter's All Seeing Eye. I made a post on my Instagram about this. It's just a concept album, spiritually led, where he's kind of thinking through God's all-seeing eye and omniscience and omnipotent, all power, all seeing, and kind of and thinking through the movement of a all power being creating the universe, creating Earth, and it's amazing. It's amazing that jazz can bring that out of people, and through music he can kind of get some of his thoughts recorded. And this is a great album, great lineup. Wayne Shorter, Freddie Hubbard, Alan Shorter, his brother, Gretchen Marker, James Spalding, Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter, Joe Chambers. A lot of your avant-garde or avant-bop as I've heard somebody call it recently. I like that name, where it's not real avant-garde or free jazz, but it's hard bop with a getting out there a little bit, and it's really good. I like it. It might not be for everybody's taste because it is a little different. Another one I just got yesterday delivered is Andrew Hill's Grassroots. This is a 1968 release from Andrew Hill, where he kind of went back to his basics. He went back to his fundamentals. He started stopping thinking about trying to show himself off and see what else he can get to in that free jazz and that avant-garde style, and went back to the basics, because he made this album because he wanted to make everybody who listens to it happy. So it does a good job of that. Great music. He wrote every song on here, but he's got Lee Morgan with him, Booker Irvin on the saxophone, Andrew Hill on the piano, obviously, Ron Carter on the bass, and Freddie Waits, who I don't know a ton about. I know that he had a good career, in the 70s, but Freddie Waits on the drums. So interesting cover. I like the black and white kid there hugging on each other, showing some friendship. Grassroots. Anyway, great. Oh, well, the story behind this is I thought I was buying, I bought on Discogs a 1975 release that was supposed to be blue label with a black B, or white B with a white B. And it came, I knew it was a Scorpio 2006 reissue when I opened it. So I contacted the seller. I got a fair enough refund that I'm going to keep this. It sounds great. It's not a humongous title where I feel like I need to have the best issue of it. So happy to add that. Sounds fine for the Scorpio releases that you'll get. Again, another Blue Note. I got Wayne Shorter's Night Dreamer. Tough title to come by. I grabbed a 75th anniversary. Luckily, again, sounds awesome. I'm fine with it. Great lineup here. Wayne Shorter. This is kind of a dark, moody jazz album that I really love, that kind of music. But you got Lee Morgan, Wayne Shorter, McCoy Tyner, Reginald Workman, and Elvin Jones. Elvin Jones always brings something a little bit different out of these band leaders. How's this lighting looking? But anyway, Night Dreamer, Wayne Shorter. Listen to it if you haven't. It's a great release, and it's hard to come by. I could see it being a tone poet over the next couple of years. That would be awesome. But that 75th anniversary, surprisingly, is in good quality and sounds good. That's all the jazz. I got some other ones. My long lost purchase from the Caps Kids Christmas auction finally came in. I know he had some issues with getting it out and some other people's stuff out, but I stayed in touch with him, gave him grace. Finally, he got it shipped to me when he got back to his home state. I know he was in Florida for a while. I got Shooter Jennings' second release. It's a country album, obviously, Waylon Jennings' son, The Wolf. Very cool songs on here, some covers, some guest appearances. If you like country music, kind of outlaw, this will be right up your style. I love the cover of this too. Pretty cool looking. But that's one edition I got. Thanks, Kat, for getting that to me. Next one, classic. I've had this for a long time. I just haven't shown it, and I need to file it away. I've listened to it a few times. Finally got a copy of one of my favorite Stevie Ray Vaughan releases. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Couldn't Stand the Weather. So many awesome classics on here. Cold Shot, Honey Bee. I love that one. And then obviously on the first side, Scuttle Button, Couldn't Stand the Weather, Voodoo Child. He does an unbelievable rendition of that. And I love his style. I mean, this is blues rock at its best right here. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Couldn't Stand the Weather. Another new edition, and this is one of the few prog rock albums that I have, but I loved the cover. I'd streamed it and liked the sound of the guitar. The bass is unbelievable, that's who leads it. Deep Purple's former bassist, Nick Semper. This is Warhorse debut album. Look at that cover. Very good. Awesome prog rock, believe 1970 progressive hard rock classic featuring Deep Purple bassist Nick Semper. Vertigo Records. This is a reissue on gold vinyl. And sounds good. Pretty dynamic. Got the little Virgo replica label. So I was happy to add that. I know y'all probably all know, and I know, I can admit it, that I get on my jazz kicks and listen to jazz probably 75% of the time. But I also love other kinds of music, country obviously, but rare rock, kind of gets that fuzzy guitar, that blues rock influence stuff in the classic rock genre I love, and Warhorse kind of brings that. I actually like this record better than the Deep Purple records that I have. So next one I got for my birthday from my brothers, classic 86 rap, Run DMC, Raising Hell. Just loaded with songs that we love from the 80s. Peter Piper, It's Tricky, My Adidas, Walk This Way. You also have on the other side, most of y'all know, Hit It Run, Raising Hell, You Be Illin', Proud to Be Black. Just a good record to have in your collection to kind of round out all the genres. This and Beastie Boys' License to Ill are my rap representatives in my collection, because those are the ones that I really liked when they came out in the mid 80s when I was listening to all kinds of music. Next one I got a Walmart release of a country legend, Glenn Campbell, live at the Troubadour. And this is, I think, 2006 concert, which was the last live recording of Glenn Campbell ever made. So he plays all his hits. It's just a very cool archive to have. Nice write-ups for him. Double LP, but I saw it as the last copy in the Walmart probably about a month and a half ago or more, maybe 2 months ago, and I had to grab it. So all his hits are on there. He does a great job, even though he's a little older in these. He's still a performer, good singer, and it's nice to have his last live recorded show. Glenn Campbell. Another huge one that I was so happy to finally find after Record Store Day, and this is Ann Peoples. Southern soul at its best. This lady had a killer voice and aggressive style of singing that I like to hear in the soul genre. And she does a lot of covers here. She does Respect on here, R-E-S-P-E-C-T, Chain of Fools, It's Your Thing, Do What You Want to Do. So awesome song list on there. Great release on colored vinyl, purplish pinkish colored vinyl. And this is a rare OG. I mean, the OG is worth hundreds of dollars. So when they announced this release, I was definitely grabbing it. So this is Ann Peoples. Record Store Day dropped 2. I got it after the fact because our store kind of shafted me by what they told me they were going to have, but they didn't have any. But anyway, now 3 more classics that I've added to my collection. First one being, I wanted to round out my Pink Floyd collection because I had my 2 favorites, which Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here. And I had to get my next 2. It's probably the only 4 Pink Floyds that I'm going to have in my collection. I actually have one other one, but these 2 are my number 3 and number 4 favorites, so I wanted to add them. I found a Japanese release, OG, and made an offer, and I was so excited when he accepted it. But this is Pink Floyd Animals, Japanese pressing, beautiful cover, in great condition. I love this record. It's so different than everything else, and great progressive rock, obviously the best to do it, really. Pink Floyd Animals, one of their best. And let's see if I can find, it did not come with the Obi, but it's got the inner sleeve and great quality vinyl. So I was excited to add Pink Floyd Animals. And then the next one, I bought this at my brother's record store, Deep Track Zach. Y'all probably saw him on Rachel's live streams a few times sitting in his hardware store. I went over there one day, dropped off some doubles, Blue Notes that I had that I wanted him to be able to sell for me, and came along and grabbed this reissue of Metal. And it sounds terrific, remastered, pressed from the analog tapes. Pink Floyd Metal. This is it's a different sound and a different. That's what I loved about Pink Floyd. Every one of their albums, especially those 4 that I have, were captivating in their own way, and they're all, they're different. They draw you in. They rock out when they need to. They put that moody I guess, synthesizing type sounds to their songs, and it's just something that's special, and I really like Pink Floyd. So grabbing metal and animals is essential. Last one, I have two more. Last one of the classics that everybody will know, and I finally got me a copy of Crosby, Stills and Nash, Deja Vu. I overlooked it many times as do I really need that? But it's so good. Classic folk rock right there. Unbelievable condition from the deal that I got online. So happy to add that. And the last one is an absolute grail that I bought for my birthday, for some birthday money. And it is Steve Young, Rock, Salt, and Nails. Just a pinnacle of country rock in the 70s. And this is a Japanese pressing of Steve Young's best album. Rock, Salt, and Nails is a terrific song. He is the writer of Seven Bridges Road, which was made famous by the Eagles. It's on here too. And if you've never heard this, look it up, stream it or something, and I think you'll see he has such a unique, passionate country voice that goes well with his songwriting and with his guitar playing and just the song styling. So look him up, Steve Young. This is my Grail here, Japanese pressing of Steve Young, Rock, Salt, and Nails. So those are my new additions and heavy rotations for the last couple of months, really, that have been sitting around. So I look forward to doing another video. I've got some concept videos I just kind of want to tell off of other people's, as well as some contests that I haven't entered yet. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Any comments would be great. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, keep spinning that next play.